Gotta fix my hair after that thumbnail. Okay. Hello, Void. How are you doing? So, we've been on a good roll, so, well, might as well keep it going. The Innkeepers. Now, if you've been watching my show since towards the beginning, and thank you. I don't know if there are many out there that have been, but that's fair. That's fine. Okay. But I did a big kickoff where I watched a movie every single day in October. Now, this is not a thing I was doing just for the show. It's something I tend to do yearly. And some years I'll watch things I favorites, some years I'll watch only new things. So sometimes I'll just do weird things. One year I took a bunch of films out of the library or just pulled the things up on Netflix. And during that time period, I thought I saw The Innkeepers. I was watching a lot of movies in one of these Octobers. I can't recall everything I did see. But the name The Innkeepers was quite familiar to me, and I know I've seen some sort of write-ups or pictures of it before. So I was pretty sure I'd seen it. But I admitted to myself I probably hadn't remembered much about it because I see too many damn movies. But turns out this was not the case. In fact, I had not seen The Innkeepers. It was a movie I'm pretty sure I was mistaken for it. I can't recall quite what the title is, but I had never seen this one. And I'm glad I saw this one because I did enjoy watching this one. So this one is a 2011 film. It's about a couple of innkeepers in a haunted hotel. Essentially, they're sort of amateur paranormal investigators, and as the hotel's closing down, they're noticing a little bit of an uptick in the paranormal activity, so they're trying to document it. And a couple new guests are about and either helping or interfering with their investigations. There's two main of them. Claire, who's young, she's young, spunky, and easily startled. And Luke, who's kind of more an older guy who's more heading the investigation, and who's rather sarcastic and cynical. And it's a lot of the meat of the movie is watching those two interact with the guests. And some of the encounters are awkward, but realistically and believably so, and kind of enjoyably awkward at times. It's just watching these characters hang out, waiting for things to happen, was actually enjoyable. The characters are likable, particularly Luke and Claire. One of their guests is Lee, a former actress turned clairvoyant who's tries to offer some warnings, but we can't tell whether she's just humoring them or trying to kick off her new career and stay relevant, or if she's actually sensing something. Now, the main ghost in here is, I can't remember the name now. It was O'Malley. I want to say Elizabeth O'Malley, but I could be wrong. Anyway, a woman who supposedly was stood up on her, then on the night before her wedding, and ended up getting killing herself in the hotel. And then the former innkeepers panicked and hid her body, and now her spirit haunts the halls. And I will say the pacing is really what sold this movie. Towards the beginning, they don't just do a big exposition dump on what's going on. They slowly introduce you to things. At first, it's just them talking about the hotel closing down and hanging out. Then they talk about just EMF offhand, and don't really go into it much. And then it kind of hints that they're looking into the paranormal investigations. Whether or not they're a legit thing, or nope, they're just employees that are moonlighting as this. And it kind of lets you fill in things naturally. It's kind of told in like 4 chapters, and the second you don't really get the history of the ghost till the second chapter, where Claire just tells it to a kid to spook him a little. So it's just told as a ghost story. And as more reveals and events happen, it falls nicely into place. The ending gets a little harder to make sense of what's going on, but it just takes a little bit more thought to put a few pieces together. And overall, I think it was very effective, if slightly, it seemed abrupt at the time, but when it starts epiloguing, it does make more sense. It does leave a few questions about how much was really ghosts and how much was characters panicking and perceptions. So, overall, the movie worked very well. The makeup effects on the ghosts that show up, very well done. And as before, it's mostly the dialoguing and the character interactions that really make this one worthwhile. There are some very tense scenes, and particularly a little bit of minimalism as you just see one character talk to another, and then she's talking about something that's behind him, and you don't just see what it is. You see him getting increasingly nervous and not wanting to turn around, and he just starts running, and runs after her, and she runs after him. It doesn't, whether or not something was there, it's hard to say, because they do keep messing with each other throughout it too. So, was she? It, it does a good job of keeping you guessing about what's actually going on for a little bit. Though some things are a little predictable for how they're going to go, but you never exactly know for sure. I will say that it goes almost too subtle towards the ending, as the final shot has a kind of a spooky effect to it, but it's really hard to see even if you're looking for it. So keep very close attention during the final shots. But overall, solid 4 stars. Stars? What am I talking about? MacGuffins. Solid 4 MacGuffins. Well, so really all I can really say on this one without going into too much spoiler territory, and I really don't want to do that for this one. I recommend The Innkeepers. Check it out.